Other fist as he's pronating to kind of simulate the back of someone's hand. Every single millimeter from the starting position, any slight advantage is huge. If you didn't know, Alexey Voevoda has a YouTube channel. Well, I talked about it in a recent video, but he's over 10,000 subscribers now, about 12,000. But he uploaded a video talking about pronation. I think he gave some incredible tips when it comes to arm wrestling, especially for beginners. If you're a beginner, you should definitely listen up to this because this guy has a lot of experience. He's known for being super technical at arm wrestling, not only genetically gifted in terms of musculature, explosiveness, but also very smart as far as his approach to training. And in this video right here, he talks about, I have the translation on from Russian to English, so it might not be perfectly translated, but you get the basic concept of what is being said here. So he's basically saying,
в армрестлинге самое важное положение – это вот стартовое положение.
So he's saying the starting position is most important, which is so true. I think a lot of beginners in training, maybe they'll start a lot more cupped in. They'll maybe even start in a hook in practice, or they'll start in different positions. But in a tournament situation, a match situation, you have to start with your wrist straight. So you want to be your strongest right here. You want to be very strong and solid in that starting position. Because if you're really strong here, but you're not used to training here, someone's just going to peel your wrist easy. So it's a very important concept to be aware of.
Как стоит ваша кисть, как она фиксирует положение кисти соперника и как вы можете после старта контролировать, собственно, борьбу.
It's like every single millimeter from the starting position, any slight advantage is huge. Like the most minor adjustment can make a huge difference in the match in that starting position. And being strong there is critical. He talks about the importance of the hand and how the hand is so important in arm wrestling as well right here.
Как раз для этого и нужна кисть, ротаторы, соответственно, лучевые, широчайшие, ну и, соответственно, пронация. Да, все верно.
So he's demonstrating with the karate belt.
Корпус. Чуть-чуть наклонили, рука ладонь вверх. Палец заходит вот сюда у нас, чтобы было понятно. Вот. Теперь ставим кулак, это для новичков. Ставим кулак, пальчиками прислоняемся к кулаку и по кулаку движемся.
He's using his other fist as he's pronating to kind of simulate the back of someone's hand, and he's just pronating through the thumb basically without even closing his hand. So he's keeping his hand open, but he's pronating through the thumb, and he's using his other hand to kind of guide that pronation, which I think when people pronate a lot of times they do pronation exercises, they are not really thinking about their thumb being involved with it, because the thumb really initiates it in a top roll. To have that thumb pronation, that rotational pressure, it initiates that top roll, which is a huge factor.
При этом важно не убирать далеко от корпуса локоть.
He says don't move the elbow far from the body as well.
Получается идеальная пронация.
Perfect pronation.
Левая рука.
So that's how he's recommending to beginners to get the basic concept, to understand the concept of pronation.
Потом можно будет делать по старинке.
And then he's demonstrating the old-fashioned way. You see him closing his hand there.
Для того, чтобы сделать так, необходимо понять саму суть движения.
To understand the movement. So I think basically, obviously there's a translation barrier there, but what I gathered from that is that he's stressing the importance of the thumb and actually understanding the concept of pronation, how you are essentially guiding it through the thumb, rotating from the bottom of the wrist to the top of the wrist, which is what he said in that video. And at the start of the video, he talked about the importance of the hand in the starting position and being strong in the starting position, which I always stress to people when they recommend exercises as far as gym exercises to train, is having a strong starting position, with whether it be cup being really strong to get from here to here, or just that slight amount of pronation to get a little bit of rise, pronation, and hand control. So again, through the thumb, training the thumb is also, I've been training my thumb recently, and I believe it's helped my top roll a lot. I went to practice yesterday, and my top roll felt absolutely phenomenal because that rotational pressure comes through that thumb. So if there's anything you would take away from this video as a beginner or someone somewhat new to arm wrestling, is that pronation through the thumb is super important. Hand is super important in arm wrestling. Train your hand. And if you haven't subscribed to Alexey Voevoda, definitely subscribe to him. This guy's a legend in the sport, and I can't wait to see him come back and compete. So it's awesome times in arm wrestling.